I consider a number of things when I decide what to plant in the garden. A plant either needs to produce something to eat, be ornamental, be a good ground cover, improve the soil, be a trap crop, or serve some other purpose. I had high hopes for the Naranjilla. It takes a very long growing season, so I started the seeds in January, and it didn't really grow much until the weather started to get hot. Then it took off and did really well, and as you can see, it has a lot of fruit on the plant, but those fruit had not ripened by the time we got our first frost. And even though I tried to ripen some indoors, those attempts were unsuccessful. I overwintered one and gave it another shot the next year, but that one did even worse, so I'm finished with this plant. Pepino melons, like the Naranjilla, take a very long growing season, so I started the seeds along with the Naranjilla seeds in January. They did take off a little quicker than the Naranjilla, but they require nighttime temperatures that are fairly warm before they can set fruit. I did a little experimenting and found that they were very easy to root by taking cuttings and putting them in water. Then I just laid a stem over on its side and buried it, and as you can see, it took root very well. Even though the Pepino melons were fairly easy to grow and they were interesting since I'd never grown them before, they produced no edible fruit, so like the Naranjilla, I won't be growing these again. I also grew some Tzimbalo Melon Pears, and I planted those in January like the Naranjilla and the Pepino melons. And what you're looking at here is the Pepino melons first, the largest plant, then the Tzimbalo Melon Pear, and then the Naranjilla. The Tzimbalo Melon Pear grew like weeds once I planted them out in the garden, and as you can see from this view, they just aggressively grew in all directions. I had to prune them back many times, and they required a lot of work just to keep under control. They did finally produce fruit, and the fruit was edible, and it tasted decent, but they didn't produce enough fruit to make all the effort worthwhile for me, so I'm done with these also. Then there's the pineapple. This one is a little over a year old, and it's living out in the garden just fine. The thing I don't like about pineapples is they require overwintering in our area, and I just don't have the room to devote to it. It's been an interesting plant to grow. I liked learning about it, and it's kind of cool to cut off the top of a pineapple and turn it into a plant, but just can't devote the space to it, so it's another one that we won't grow again. A few years ago we planted some English ivy, and at first we loved the way it acted as a ground cover because it filled in an area that was difficult to grow anything because it was so shady. But before we knew it, it had just started growing in all directions. It grew up trees, it grew up fences, under fences, over fences, over landscaped timbers, under landscaped timbers, and went out into our fescue grass, several feet before we even realized it was out in there. Once we decided to get rid of it, it actually took us a couple of years to get rid of it all, and that was with a lot of work and some heavy mulch and some landscape fabric and just a lot of elbow grease. This is one that we will never ever grow again. Let me know if you've ever grown any of these, and if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Otherwise, like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.